The Walking Dead universe continues to expand with a second season of one of its spin-off shows coming to AMC and AMC Plus September 29th. And we've got the showrunner, executive producers, and cast here with us to tell us all about The Walking Dead. Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. Hey! Look at you all. Okay, so that title, The Book of Carol, that tells me something. And you want to know what it tells me, Melissa?
What?
It tells me that there might be some heavy emphasis on Carol's journey. So what can you tell us about your character and the journey to, I'm assuming, I think it's safe to assume, your search for Daryl?
Well, that's what I can tell you. She has left Commonwealth. She's going to go and search for Daryl. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I just spit on you. Oh, stop. Yeah, that's part of the impetus to get her over there.
And you're finding little nuggets and clues here and there to try to figure out where the hell is Daryl. Where in the world, I guess, is Daryl?
Yes, and how he got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's it in a nutshell, because I know you can't give spoilers, obviously.
I know, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, but let's talk about how we got there, because I feel like you all, Norman, I want to throw this question to you, David, definitely chime in. I feel like you all did a great job of setting up the scenes, or setting up what we see in season 2. Like, it ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, you know. We see Daryl, he's there trying to figure out, does he stay here with Louis' character Laurent, or does he get on that boat and go back to his family? So how important was it for you all to set things up the way that you did leading into season 2?
I think it's really important. You mean the end of season 1?
Yeah. My mind is already on season 2. I just want to see it. So
I mean, you find a sense of family in the oddest of places, and I believe he found that with Louis and Clemence, her character. So, I mean, look at him; he's never going to survive without Daryl. Although he was like a foot shorter when we shot that. But you know, I think it's he wants to go home. He wants to see his original family members back there. But then again, he's not the type of person to just say peace and sneak away.
And that was pretty much the plan from the outset, was to set up these two things. One being the sort of the build to Daryl having this dilemma about, I got these people I love that I want to get back to, but then something's happening here that's also making me feel here. And at the same time, this more sudden story getting jettisoned into it, which is his friend who's back home, missing him, needing him, wanting to see what's happened to him, and sort of introducing Carol back into the story. So it was always designed, you know, that we sort of knew pretty early on. That ending of season 1 that projected into season 2 was something we pretty much had as a plan from very early.
Yeah. But that's funny, because what if Laurent wouldn't have showed up on the beach at the end? Because that was really, it was sort of your motivating journey there that kind of also stopped Daryl where he was.
And also, I think that song really killed it. I mean, you know who that is? That's you too. That song.
Really?
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Takes a second. That's right.
I actually want to talk, Louis, I want to talk about your character, because I feel like you definitely brought out like these emotions that I don't think a lot of us have seen in Daryl's character, or we haven't seen that in Daryl a lot, like the anger. Like, it felt like you were like a father figure to Louis' character, and it's just like you yelling and going through these waves of emotions. So I want to talk about how, because this is also like your first official role, right?
Yeah, it
Congratulations.
is.
Like, what has it been like being a part of such an expansive universe in The Walking Dead, also working directly with the GOAT, Norman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, working with Norman
friends.
and Melissa, it's a pleasure.
Yeah.
We have fun there, and we do our job. And I guess it's good. We could say that.
Yeah, it's
and yeah, but you know, with Norman's emotion, I mean, his character Daryl, it really evolves, and you see that he picks up a bit of my character, and I get a bit tougher like Daryl. Mm-hmm. That's what I see.
Yeah.
That scene was hard to shoot. At one point, we called it.
Yeah, we called it.
Like, I can't yell at him anymore. Like,
and they said, like, do you want to do it again? And we were like, no, thank you, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was honestly, like, even seeing that, like, it was, I don't know, it was kind of, like, as a fan, again, you and I spoke before, like, just me feeling like I'm a part of this this family, obviously just have parasocial relationships as some of us have, watching the original series for so long and then seeing you yell at this kid, I'm like, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that if you were back home, but it's like, but I think it's just because you're away from your family. I'm speaking for you, but again, I'm just interpreting this as a fan. It's like, wow, I've never seen Daryl like this, and it, I don't know, it was kind of shell shocking to see that, but
it was also like us trying to like look into the history of the character and say he grew up with Merle in a particular set of circumstances with a particular kind of father, and how those buttons were getting pushed by his relationship with Louis' character, So it was like a combination of trying to say like, what is this character on The Walking Dead and what has he been, but how can we like sort of push it to a different place that you haven't seen before, but still be consistent with who he is, And that was a lot. Sorry. Also in the sorry, Greg. Yeah, when Norman and Louis and I got together in the audition, that was a lot of what was going on when we first met with Louis. Was Norman, I think, seeing you can say it, but like seeing things that he responded to, and the way that the two of them related to each other, so that we could build that kind of dynamic between them. That sort of father-son thing you're talking about.
Well, it's funny too because Laurent has never been out in the world. It's not like Judith or other characters who know how to take care of themselves. So Daryl already looks at this kid when he meets him in the first episode. He's never been outside the walls of the Abbey.
Yeah.
So there's another unique aspect of why Daryl is so drawn to protect him, because like with Judith can take care of herself. She has Rick's gun, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, she's got it. But I think that added to that relationship between the two of them.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what I love about the ending of season 1 is the fact that it seemed like Laurent kind of proved himself. Like he got there to that destination on his own. Yeah. I was like, how? Didn't look like there was anything in your hand. Didn't look like any weapons. Like I was just like, it blew my mind.
Very quietly.
Yeah, and also, Daryl didn't detect Laurent at all. At least, I don't think.
I really like the build up to that beach.
Yeah.
Like the amping up of that scene, like getting there, and like we worked on the choreography for the fights to get there, and it's just one step. Like don't kill and drop and kill and drop. It's literally like hacking through bamboo to finally get there. So it boom, and then what? I really love the way that played out.
Yeah. I got to ask you all of this. Melissa, hopefully you can answer this, because I really want to know. Now, in The Ones Who Live, Rick and Michonne, we see a happy ending. That story buttons up pretty nicely. Will Carol ever get a happy ending? Will Daryl ever get a happy ending?
Don't.
Are you saying don't? Don't get a happy ending? Or you just mean don't spoil anything? Is that right? But would you like to see Carol get a happy ending? And what would that look like?
I cannot.
We'll see if things turn out well for both of them. I don't know. I hope, in looking like way into the future, and with Jeffrey and Lauren, with Maggie and Negan, Rick and Michonne and everybody, I kind of play around in my head, like, what would be a reunion like that? What would that be like if everybody did converge again, ultimately? Or is it fun just to go check in and see how everybody's doing? Like, how long can that go on before, This is really fun storytelling, to have these spin-offs, to have places, locations like France, to have these wonderful new catalysts for challenge to these characters. We've seen them for so long. It's really nice to have that change and see them really dig into different aspects of themselves that otherwise wouldn't be challenged, just because of the unique things about the locations and stuff. And I'm looking forward to everyone seeing this new season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it as well. Honestly, I feel like all these problems could be solved if maybe Eugene or someone would just reinvent the cell phone and just like you could just call Daryl. You wouldn't have to I don't know how you're gonna get there, but you're gonna be traveling there on a boat to get there,
it all has
for sure.
To start somewhere.
Yeah.
Start it over. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you all so much for telling me a little bit more about The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. Thank you all so much for coming out.
Yeah, thanks.
This was awesome. Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Yes, of course.
Pleasure, brother.
Now, The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, Season 2 premieres on AMC and AMC Plus September 29th. Stick around for more Comic-Con coverage right here on IGN.
You didn't cry? I know.